had someone touch my hair, literally. I was like cooking in the shared kitchenette, and literally he just came over me and was like complimenting me about, you know, hey, your hair, it's a beautiful hair, and he just started touching it, and I just literally, I couldn't believe it, and like I just froze, because at that moment I'm just like, I don't want to even react like crazy, you know, and he goes off, because like for Adamo it was just a safety issue for me. Hello guys, my name is Aji. Welcome to Figure It Out with Aji, a place where you're empowered to figure out your money, your career, your personal growth, and live life on your own terms. So today I am going to be doing something different, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about my study abroad experience living in France. So let's get into the video. So I lived in France for like 5 months, and the reason why I did the study abroad is like, apart from like being like a double major in computer information science and computational mathematics, I was also majoring in French. So I wanted to like immerse myself into the French culture and improve my fluency in the French language. So that was, you know, the main reason why I did a study abroad in France. So I went to Missouri Southern State University for college, and we had a sister program with the University of Orléans in Orléans, France. So that's where I, you know, did my study abroad. When I moved to France for like 5 months to do a study abroad, it was just after the incident of like the terrorist attack that happened in France. So it was like, you know, right after that, so around like 2016, security was quite heavy in all the popular destinations in France as well, because of the terrorist attacks that happened. But I didn't have any issues like getting in. So I lived in Orléans. It's like in the center of France. It's like maybe an hour and a half away from Paris. It's a small town, it's a university town, and you know, obviously there's not a lot of things going on as well. And I lived on campus, so like I was just mainly dealing with like international students. Also interacted with a lot of French students as well, you know, and also like francophone students that came to study in France as well. The experience was good. Honestly, I really enjoyed my stay there. One thing that I do notice about like the French is like they dress really well. French people are very fashion forward, so you know, everywhere you go, everyone was dressed up to the T. Like it's just, you know, it's just different from American university whereby it's like you see people in their pajamas or just wearing t-shirts and stuff like that, and that is no shade, but it is what it is. So definitely fashion forward. I really love the food, and one thing about the French, they have a lot of butter in their food, and it just amazes me how much they don't even gain weight. I love the food. I love the baguette. It's like the best bread that I've ever tasted in my life. I was feeding on a baguette and like cheese. That's what I was feeding on, because one, I was a broke student, so I had to make my money stretch as well. So I really love that. Regarding the study, what I've learned there, it wasn't hard for me. So I realized looking back, like I did not study for the placement exam, so as a result I didn't do well in the placement exam. When I went into it, like I didn't think there was a placement test, so I didn't even get prepared for the test. So they put me in a class that I felt like that was below my skill level, and as a result I thrive in it. But it's fine. It worked out fine for me because I was able to transfer those credits to like my American university so that I can finish on time. So that's one thing about like study abroad. If you take credits in the other university, especially if it is a sister university, you are able to transfer those credits and they go towards your degree in the university in America. So that was fine. So it was not hard to make friends because, you know, we were all international students and we flocked towards each other. I just wish perhaps maybe I would have made a concerted effort to make more friends, you know, friends within the school itself, but no regrets there. Also, like with the weather was fine. Actually, the weather kind of reminded me of home. Except for the fact that, you know, it was spring and it was gloomy. I didn't have trouble blending in because like my French was quite advanced, so I was able to communicate my way into, you know, asking questions. And also like when I traveled there, I didn't have any issues because I knew my way around the metro system, so it was fine. I didn't have any trouble. I just asked around people if I'm not sure. I had a room by myself. It was a small room. There wasn't much going on there, so like I shared a shower with the whole floor. I would not do that. I would not advise to do that if you have the means, because it was just crazy. To be fair, they cleaned it every day. The weekends though, it was a mess. One thing about French people is they don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, so the bathroom in the weekends was a whole freaking mess. Like I just I tried to stay away from it. It was just disgusting as well, because people, you know, will go out partying and then, you know, get drunk and just puke everywhere in the weekend and stuff like that. So by the time that the cleaners came on Monday, it was just already a freaking mess. So that's one thing that I didn't like about that setup. So I just wish that, you know, I had a bathroom, you know, in my dorm to myself. Yeah, but other than that, it was cool. So in terms of like, you know, when I was there, stories, the things that happened to me, man, it's like, it's crazy, because now that I think about it, I'm just like, yeah, like, wow, I can't believe that happened to me. So like a story that happened, I had someone touch my hair, literally. I was like cooking in the shared kitchenette, and literally he just came over me and was like complimenting me about, you know, hey, your hair, it's a beautiful hair, and he just started touching it, and I just literally, I couldn't believe it. And like I just froze, because at that moment I'm just like, I don't want to even react like crazy, you know. And he goes off because like because for at that moment it was just a safety issue for me. So when that happened, it just took me aback, and from that moment off I just stayed away from that individual, because it was just like, you're like literally borderline harassing me, literally. And he was just 2 doors next to my dorm room, so that was weird and crazy. Another incident that I had was like, I went to go, you know, to the supermarket and to get some groceries and stuff like that, and in the middle of the supermarket I almost fainted. This is like PMI, but I had like a menstrual cramp attack kind of situation, because like I have really bad cramps. And like I didn't even see it coming. I was in line to check out the grocery stuff that I bought, and it was just like a ton of bricks just hit me, and I just started feeling dizzy, and I almost fainted. And like I just told the cashier like, I'm not feeling well. So I went to the bench near me, and I was just in so much pain and in so much agony. Thankfully people were like kind to like just ask me what was going on, if I'm feeling well. And there was like a pop-up like beauty station, like a hair salon kind of thing next to it, and they took me there. They laid me down on the like the bed that they had, and they called the ambulance. You know, they called the ambulance because I was just in hysteria. Like I was, you know, vomiting and stuff like that, just nausea. And so it was quite bad. Even my family didn't know that like I had an ambulance pick me up there, because I didn't want them to panic, you know. Like I'm just living in a new country by myself, you know, like I didn't want them to worry and stuff like that. So I didn't tell them. So they're probably hearing about this right now, but it was a crazy situation. So the ambulance came, picked me up, and then they took me to the hospital. So I was in hospital for like hours. They just gave me some medicine, and I think they gave me an IV, but I'm not sure. And literally in the hospital there was someone else in so much pain. They were crying, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like literally I was in pain, but I just felt bad for them because they were crying and like, you know, having a tantrum because no one was like attending to them as well. So it was a whole mess. So it was just crazy. And like when it was time to go home, it was because it was late, like 2 a.m. Like I called the taxis and no one picked up, because remember, this is a small town. I mean, it's about 200,000 people. So but by that time, like everyone was like asleep, so I literally had to ask a stranger to give me a ride. I got out of the hospital and I saw this guy, you know, outside, like getting into his car. And I'm like, for some reason, I'm just like, I just spoke to him in English. I'm like, I am so sorry, like, I explained the situation to him, and he, bless his heart, he was so nice. He you know, he gave me a ride. But literally, guys, this could have been a serial killer, you know, like me that I know, I would have not done that, but like my back was against the wall because I just wanted to get home and stuff like that. So I'm just like, please God, help me get home, you know. So like he drove me to the university dormitory, and then, you know, like I got there and I was hungry too because I didn't eat any day. So I had to also talk to the, oh my God, it was a whole mess. I had to go talk to the security at, you know, at front desk to open up the kitchen so that I can cook something, because they usually close the kitchen within a specific time frame. So, but they were cool with that. So those are the stories that like that were out here that were just crazy for me. But in terms of like just going there and making friends, it was fun. It was a good immersive experience for me. I really enjoyed it, and also it allowed me to travel. Like I was able to travel with a friend there that I made, and you know we traveled to Italy. We went to Napoli, we went to Florence. Where else did we go? We went to Venice. Oh my God, it was so much fun. It was just epic. Like just, it made me fell in love with like the Italian culture and like the impact that it has on the wall. Like definitely would, you know, if you have an opportunity to go to Italy, definitely do it. And I also, like when I was studying abroad, like on the breaks that we had long breaks, like a week break or 2 weeks break and stuff like that, winter breaks and things like that. I was able to visit my aunt and uncle in Switzerland. That was fun. I went there for a week. You know, I took the bus. It's called they call it Flex bus, and the bus is like it has a charger and it has Wi-Fi, so it was cool for me. And you know, the bus drove from you know, from Paris, the station there, and all the way to like Geneva in Switzerland. And the route was beautiful because it was during the winter and we were going through the mountains. It was just so freaking beautiful. It's like a winter wonderland. So that was fun. And when I went to Geneva, like I had so much fun with my uncle and aunt, in terms of like they, you know, we went sightseeing, they took me to places. Like it just made me fall in love with Switzerland. And I'm just like, if I'm rich and become a rich auntie vibes, I wouldn't mind living in Switzerland. Like God, the nature in Switzerland is so beautiful, and like they have good standards of living when you're doing okay, when you have like a good job. That was fun. You know, Swiss cheese and all, you know, the food, the people, the chocolate. Oh my God, they have the best chocolate. Not a lot of people know this about me, but I love chocolate so much. Like I have to have chocolate. It's one of my vices. I love chocolate so much. The thing about like the Swiss, they like have professional, artisanal people that make chocolate. The main thing that they do is chocolate, and they have like little chocolate stores everywhere. When I went to Geneva, they had this area whereby it's kind of like a village. It literally kind of reminds me of like Lord of the Rings kind of thing, whereby, you know, you have different villages, and like it kind of reminds me of the medieval times. You know, all those architecture and landscapes are preserved. It's so beautiful out there. So if you definitely have a chance to go visit Switzerland, especially Geneva, go check that out. And they also, like, the second headquarters of the UN is in Geneva, so I definitely visited that. That was fun, and we had a whole tour there. So, and I visited some museums there. So really pretty, really gorgeous, good standards of living, and I wouldn't mind living there. So the only regret that I have about like doing a study abroad is I wish, you know, I stayed for 2 semesters or a year, because I've seen other people like do that. And like one thing about like doing a study abroad, when you get the bug, it's like it's a wrap. It's so much fun because you're broadening your perspective, you're immersing yourself in this culture, because these are things like you're learning about the culture in class, but once you go and live there, it's a whole totally different experience. So I really loved it, and it sparked my passion for traveling. So if you're like interested in doing a study abroad, even if it's not like your major related, you can do a study abroad if your college offers it. It's a good way to broaden your horizon, broaden your perspective, and create a network of people around the world. Because when you go into a study abroad, you meet a lot of people from different walks of life on different parts of the world, because they also are coming to that place to learn about the culture or learn about the language. So it really broadens your network, and you make lifelong friends that you may stay in contact with after college. So definitely, if you go to college, if you have an option to do a study abroad, definitely do it, because it will change your life, literally. So that's my story time for like my experience, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed my stay in France, in Lyon. I traveled a lot, I ate a lot of baguette. Oh my god. Thinking about it makes my mouth water. That's how good it is. So let me know whether if you're interested in like a study abroad, or if you had like a study abroad and what your experiences were. Do like, comment, subscribe, share. I hope you guys like the story time. Until then, I will see you when I see you. Bye.